Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing. This video will be talking about two things. Number one is going to be about the Mahdi, the coming of the Mahdi. A lot of you, actually most of you, have asked me this question over and over again, when the Mahdi is coming. So this is a ongoing question. This is an ongoing topic that we discuss in this video, in this channel. But today in this video I'll be talking a little bit more about it, and then we'll also talk about the coming of the Yajuj and Majuj. As you can see behind me, let's talk about the Yajuj and Majuj first, because wallahi, this is something way more interesting than anything else these days. Why? Because if you notice on Facebook, on YouTube, people are playing video games. Now this is a video game, okay? As you can see behind me, this is a video game. One guy, he is killing zombies. This is what he's saying. 1 million or 10 million or 100 million zombies. And you can see tanks. Sometimes he will bring an archer. The point is they are making this kind of video games, and these video games are trending. Now this can be just a trend and it will disappear soon, or it could stay there for a long time. But when it comes to zombies, we have seen it is going on for a very long time. It is not just a trend, it is something people actually like. There are a lot of Hollywood movies making they are making these movies on zombies. There are a lot of video games making on zombies. So zombies are everywhere. And one sheikh and I think you know the name of the sheikh, I'm not going to be mentioning, he said that zombies are perhaps, or Yajuj and Majuj, they are perhaps zombies, which is very funny, but you get the point. A lot of people are getting these ideas that perhaps when we talk about, or when the Quran talks about zombies, sorry, Yajuj and Majuj, it is talking about these zombies, because the number, the reason for that is because when they look at the number of zombies, they are huge, there are millions, and Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned in the Quran, حتى إذا فتحت يأجوج ومأجوج وهم من كل حدب ينسلون. Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, when the zombies, sorry, the Yajuj and Majuj will be breaking the barrier, they will come from every mound of, it means that the number of Yajuj and Majuj will be huge according to the Quran. So when they see this kind of video games, they say, oh, this is what the Quran is talking about. But Allahu Alam, who the Yajuj and Majuj are, we do not know. We should not be making any comment. I personally do not believe zombies are Yajuj and Majuj. I do not believe whatever we see today in video games, they are Yajuj and Majuj. One thing that I do want to talk to you about and tell you, which is very, very interesting, and that is that even though, yes, Yajuj and Majuj, we do not know who they are. I mean, you can say, well, Yajuj and Majuj are the Chinese and the American, but that is really not logical. And there is no proof, there is no hadith, there is no sunnah, there is no ayat in the Quran that refers that the Chinese or the American, they are Yajuj and Majuj. But one thing that I do want to pinpoint, which is that if we have started to make video games, if we have started to make movies about a particular thing that Quran mentioned will happen, in the Quranic way, in Islamic context, then why not it is easy, why it should not be easy for us to believe the ayat will actually come true, or the hadith will actually come true. If we can already envision it, if we can already think about it and make video games and movies, then what's the point, or why it should not be that the actual zombies, in this case the Yajuj and Majuj, again zombies are not Yajuj and Majuj, I'm saying actual being, which is Yajuj and Majuj, can come. Why it is hard for us to believe? A lot of Muslim, wallahi, subhanallah, for some reason they're leaving Islam because they say this zombie thing doesn't make sense, they don't exist, they are not anywhere on earth. But I mean, take a look at this video games, you will find out why it is possible. And it is because as Muslim we believe in the Quran that yes, Yajuj and Majuj will come. The second thing I also want to discuss, as I said, is the coming of the Mahdi. Now the Mahdi, I actually made a video before I talk about the coming of the Mahdi. I made a video the other day and I said that the way we are getting rain water, it is very polluted, and in the rainwater that we're getting today, it has quote unquote forever chemical, okay, forever chemical. And these chemicals that we see in the rainwater, they actually are same chemical that we see from food packaging, electronics, cosmetics, and cookware. So if you have like a frying pan at home, the properties that you see, the repellent properties that you see in that non-sticky frying pan is the same properties, repellent properties we find in rainwater. And this is subhanallah, making rainwater unusable. It's very, very unsafe, and nobody should drink rainwater, and nobody should even use it for cooking or any other purposes. As the hadith, as I mentioned, Rasulullah said this is a sign of the end of time, that this is going to take place. This is exactly the hadith said, that people yumtara nasu mataran amma walan tamut al ardu shay'a. People will get a lot of rain, and this is true. We are getting a lot of rains everywhere on earth, but he said nothing will grow from this rainwater, and the reason for that, it is going to be very, very polluted. This rainwater will contain these chemicals, this repellent properties and whatnot, making it impossible for us to consume it, making it impossible for us to use it, and very, very unsafe at the same time. Now, the coming of the Mahdi, as I said, I'll be actually making most of these videos about the Mahdi, because this channel is for this topic. And so the coming of the Mahdi, when we take a look at this rainwater hadith coming true, when we see Yajuj and Majuj, in video games and in Hollywood movies, dear my sisters, we ask this question: is this a precursor for the coming of the Yajuj and Majuj? Is Allah is preparing for us for the future? Maybe, we do not know. Obviously, the non-Muslims would not believe that. Is Quran does talk about a being, Yajuj and Majuj, coming in huge quantity, taking over the whole world. They don't believe, the non-Muslims. But when we see these video games in Hollywood movies, I don't watch Hollywood movies, but I know they have videos about that, of zombies. When we see this, it is a affirmation for the believers that indeed Quran doesn't lie. It is not talking about a hypothetical thing. It is talking about something real. Can you imagine when the Yajuj and Majuj will be actually here? It's a real being. So if you can play video games, why not that same thing happening in real life? This is just a matter of time, and this is what Quran also promises. And so when we see all of these things, hadith coming true, Yajuj and Majuj, how these people are playing games and whatnot, and many other things, I'm just mentioning two. When we see all of these things, what we understand one thing very clearly, which is that the end of time, dear brothers and sisters, is very, very near, and is the coming of the Mahdi. Subhanallah, we cannot be very we cannot be complacent about it. We need to take action and rectify ourselves and prepare for the end of time. Jazakallah khair for tuning in. I have a few comments here for Mohin Khan. Walaikum salam. Mohin Khan, do you think Yajuj and Majuj are China? There is no hadith about that. Yasir Qadi, yes, you know it. Salam alaikum MNH. Walaikum salam, brother. Mohin Khan, and then brother, Allah knows the best. Inshallah, Jazakallah khair for all the questions. I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.